Hi, I'm Julie, keeper of my home. Today's video is sponsored by Anderson House and their soup mixes. All of their soups are all natural and certified non-GMO with no artificial ingredients, no added salt or preservatives, and 32 of their 35 soups are all gluten-free. When you scroll through their easy-to-navigate website, you'll find gluten-free options, vegan options, as well as vegetarian options. Anderson House uses real quality ingredients in their Frontier soups. They have names that you can pronounce. They don't have any extra ingredients. Everything in there is exactly what's in there with nothing extra. Whether you're looking for a slow cooker recipe, pressure cooker recipe, or on the stove top, or even over an open fire, Anderson House has the soup for you. So today we're going to be making the Connecticut Cottage Chicken Noodle Soup. I can't wait. Joe and I have had a bit of a cold, so we are trying to get over this, and I think chicken soup is going to be just the thing that'll help us. So first thing I want to do is I want to cut up some chicken. Now this is just going to be chicken breasts. You can use thighs. I'm sure that would work as well. The recipe does call for breasts. Thighs would probably give a little more flavor and a little more fat to the recipe. The first thing I'm going to do is cut this into chunks. I want some chunks that are going to cook up nicely. Not too big, but not too small. I like to know there's chicken in my soup. As I'm cutting these, I'm going to add them to my bowl. Just keep cutting. I love chicken soup because, number one, it's very versatile. You can add many things to it. With this one, they have peas and corn and a little bit of pasta, some carrots, onions, celery, shallots, scallions, garlic, dill. Oh my gosh. I mean, tell me that doesn't sound amazing. These are all good, fresh ingredients that we know we can all pronounce. That's a big thing today in a lot of our foods. They're always adding in so many extra ingredients. You just lose what you were making to begin with. So this is going to be extra nice. Hopefully I have these. Some of these I think are a little too big, so I'm going to cut them down. But you want to note that this chicken is going to shrink up a bit as it cooks. So it won't be quite as large as what I have it here. Okay, so I won't need this whole piece, but I am going to use some of it. Now the directions call for cooked chicken, so I don't actually have any cooked chicken, so that's why I cut up what I did, some chicken breast. So I'm just going to add a little bit of avocado oil to a 5-quart Dutch oven. Turn the heat on a bit. And I'm going to cook my chicken in that. And then I'm going to start from where the directions say and add my broth. Just gonna drizzle that olive oil around and let it get heated up before adding my chicken. Now, this even has the seasonings in it. And I love that. The seasonings, they have the dill, they have garlic, they have scallions, shallots. I love that they have that. And I'm sure, you know, you could add a little more seasoning if you like. I am going to make it to the directions that they have. So I put my chicken in here and get that going. we're just going to cook this all up. Get it fried up nicely. It's going to give it a lot of flavor too, because I'm cooking it in this same pot that I'm making the soup in. So I think a little extra flavor can never hurt, right? Now you could totally do this with canned chicken. I think it would work perfectly. And I could have done that because I do have canned chicken, and use the broth to the canned chicken as well. Just pour it all in there. But I am going to use bigger chunks. My canned chicken is smaller, so I want a little bit more chicken in this. So I want it to be a hearty soup. Joe will probably say they're too big. He likes his finely chopped. All right, I'm just gonna get this cooked in here nicely. I'm gonna let it brown a little bit so we can get some of those nice golden bits on the bottom of the pan. That's where all your flavor is. I'll let this set and cook, and we'll just keep tending to it as it cooks. Now you can see how all the golden goodness in there, see all that on the bottom of the pan? That's what I was hoping for. I want all of that golden goodness to add flavor to our soup. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some chicken broth. Going to simmer it right down. This calls for 6 cups of broth and a cup of water. So what I did was I just put my water in the jar that had the broth and just swished it around a good bit to get all that last little flavor out of there. Now I'm going to let this heat up again and scrape the bottom and the sides of the pan and just get all of that umami off of the pan. It's where you're going to get a lot of your flavor. And like I said, you do not have to cook your chicken this way. I did it for more flavor, for added flavor, and the fact that I didn't have any chicken already cooked. The directions do say use cooked chicken, but this will work. And you could use a rotisserie chicken, or maybe you had chicken the night before. Even if it had was already flavored in the way that you had cooked it the night before, stick it in there. It'll just add flavor. You just want to cut it up to the size you want and add it to the soup pot, and it's going to be delicious, I'm sure. So I'm going to bring this to a boil. Once it comes to a rolling boil, I'm going to add the ingredients to my soup. So as you can see, we have a full rolling boil going. So I'm going to switch from this to a spoon. Just going to give it a good stir. Make sure we get all those bits off the bottom. And then I'm going to add our soup mix. All right, guys. Get some scissors here. Oh my gosh, this smells amazing. Just amazing. This is gluten-free. There is no added anything. There's no artificial anything in here, and there's no salt. So if you want to salt this to your taste, feel free to do that. I love that they didn't add a bunch of other things or artificial colors or flavorings, because we like from scratch and natural in this house. Just gonna put the lid on, let that simmer, and we'll come back and check it when it's done. So while this is simmering for a few minutes, let's run out to the garden and grab a few makings for a salad. This is our spinach, and there's some rhubarb chard in here. There's a 4-year-old asparagus plant in here, and on the other side, next to the trellis, there are cucumbers. So we're going to get a few of this spinach and some of the chard, and I think there's some more Swiss chard over here in this area too, as well as down here. So we've got great makings for salad. If you look over here, we have some radish, not quite ready yet, and we do have more spinach coming up, and over there we have some lettuce that's not quite ready. So let's just work on the spinach and the chard. I think that's going to make a fabulous salad. I think we have enough. I don't, I mean, we could pick greens all day in here because we've got quite a few, but that's all that's ready at this point. We do have a little tomato, but it's not ripe yet. Let me go show you. That's our very first tomato. I'm so excited. We have a few tomato plants, not a lot. We just wanted a few fresh ones to eat in salads and such. We don't need any for canning because we still have lots in the freezer. So I did notice our garlic is starting to grow scapes. Let me show you those too. You can see there's a little scape growing. Another one right there. See that? A scape is when it goes to seed, like the center of it kind of comes out, and this little bump right there, that's going to form a flower. So that's going to come right up and it's going to curl right around, and once it starts curling, I'm going to clip it, and you can actually eat these. These are delicious in stir fries, and I've freeze-dried them. I've chopped them up and mixed them with some olive oil and frozen them in little pucks to take out and just use in my pan for added flavor, soups, whatever. And then once these leaves, the 3 bottommost leaves, once they die off, then the garlic is ready to pick. That's usually in July. I think the garden has grown quite a bit since we showed you in the last video. This is the summer squash and zucchini. It's grown incredibly well. And behind me over here is all of the green beans, and you can see there's some carrots down here on the side. But just look, I mean, we love green beans. So this is going to be an amazing crop to have. We'll probably do a succession planting behind these ones just to make sure we get plenty for canning. The carrots are coming along. We just literally threw them in here. They need to be thinned out in places, but they're literally just thrown in. And do you remember those scrawny little cabbage that we had? Look at them now. These are beautiful. We love to make sauerkraut, and all things cabbage. So these are going to be delicious. The squash is now coming up. There's 2 or 3 different kinds in here. The ones here in the middle are delicata, and they're just a little bit slower to start. Last year we planted those in the greenhouse and they did really well, and this year we put them out here. This is all buttercup. It's our favorite, so I hope we get a lot of buttercup this year. Okay, I won't take you in the greenhouse today because we gotta get inside. Our soup is still simmering, and I'm pretty sure with the time that I've spent out here, it's probably ready. All right, we came in just in time because the timer was going off. I'm going to uncover the soup, give it a little stir. Do you want to see what it looks like? It smells amazing. Just look at this. I wish that you could smell this because this smells so good. So we're going to let this sit here covered, and we'll get started on the salad. I have a few things I just pulled out of the refrigerator. These are just some cut up vegetables that I keep for the girls. And then we have a couple strawberries because, you know, strawberries are good in a salad. And I have some of the greens from the garden. So I am going to mix a few of those. I don't generally do a salad this way, but I'm only, here, let me put it in a smaller bowl. I'm only putting it in this little bowl, so I'm just going to cut it up this way. The stems are good too. It's all good. Put it all in there. Maybe some pieces are a little bit big. That's okay. We can tear them up. Look at all the pretty color. Okay, so I'm gonna put some cucumber in here, maybe a little bit more. And I like carrots in my salad, but I like them sliced quite thinly, so I'm just going to kind of cut them on an angle and almost like thin chips. Nothing really too big. I'm going to cut this whole one. It's probably a lot of carrot, but it's all right. It's all good for you, right? And I don't have any tomatoes, so this is going to be my red. Let's get a little bit of spinach on there. Put a little red in there. Doesn't that look good? All right, now we've got our salad. So we're going to put all of this back in the refrigerator. The girls will probably snack on this after school. For right now, let's dish up some soup. This smells so good. I can't even begin to tell you. All right, let's get a little in this bowl. Some of that broth. I have had a cold that has just clung to me for 2 weeks. So chicken soup is going to be the magic dish. Reward. Joe actually went to town to get some gas for the mower and deliver some eggs to his aunt and mail out a graduation card. So while he is doing that, I'm going to indulge. Haven't eaten yet today. It is lunchtime, so I can't wait to get started. First bite. It's pretty hot. Oh my gosh. That is so good. It's really good soup. I think I would add a little bit of salt. I know Joe definitely would. But I love that they don't add the salt for you. For people who are on low sodium diets or people who are, you know, just trying to avoid salt for whatever reason, I'm glad that they don't add it for you and that they give you the option to add that yourself and season it, you know, in other ways too. If you want to add more season to it, that would be great. And you know, I think that if you wanted to, you could chop up spinach and put it in to this or add other vegetables that you'd like to add. I mean, this could go so many ways. This is really quite delicious. And for $7.49, I mean, plus I know I bought the chicken. The chicken was $5. You know, this is really an inexpensive meal. And if I wanted to, I've got some homemade bread over there that I made yesterday, and I could add that as a side to this meal as well. A very inexpensive meal. This soup serves 8, so it goes a long way. And I bet if you didn't have 8 in your family, and you know, even with Joe and I could thicken that up and make a pot pie with the leftovers, and that would be ever so delicious. One of our favorite meals. So there's so many things that you can do with this, and I love this. I'm so thankful to this company for reaching out. For all of you who would like to try their soups, I'm going to give you a code, and I'm going to put it across the screen here for 10% off. And I'm also going to leave their all of the information in my description box below. I think you should try this. I mean, there's like multiple soups that they sent, so I'm anxious to try them all, and I'm going to bring you with me when I do. So be sure to keep watching. One of them is going to be cooked out in our backyard. Really excited for that. So just subscribe below, click the like button, and stay tuned for more. And until next time.